So welcome to another board game review from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Grant.
Today we're doing not a war game. We're doing
a very cool game, though.
The board game.
Yeah. Very original. Very original title.
Yes. The Thing. The board game.
But I think it's actually Pendragon Studio and Ares may be the distributor. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Though they're both on the box.
They are both on the
box.
box.
That's what I care about.
Yep.
So, The Thing.
The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing. They obviously couldn't afford John Carpenter's name on the box.
Yeah, I often...
Fair play to them.
I often wonder how they get the property...
Well,
the IP,
they
right?
They probably just ask nicely, and John Carpenter says, "Yes, I'd like to make some money."
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So, The Thing, classic sci-fi horror movie. Absolutely love it.
First off, the movie's amazing. Yes,
incredible.
It's absolutely amazing from the early 80s.
It's 82.
82, and just, I mean, from Childs to McCready, it's just so fantastic. The FX at that time, the special effects were, I mean, groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Some of those effects still hold up today.
They do. I think it looks great even today.
Yeah. A couple of them you're like, but most of them you're like, yes.
Yeah, still looks good.
We could learn a thing or two from some of the things that they do even today. But it's...
But the movie aside...
I don't know. Movie aside, it's a very tense movie, right?
Yeah.
About... There's some alien horror that is infecting the people,
assimilating everyone,
assimilating them, and trying to hide and trying to destroy everything, and kind of get out and escape.
Back to the movie. Sorry, I said we're going to move on.
No.
One of my favorite parts is where Wilford Brimley's character, who you were, the doctor that did most of the blood. What was his name?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, I don't remember.
I'm not sure it matters. Well, here it is, right here. You weren't Bennings.
Dr. Blair.
Dr. Blair.
Yep.
So his character is going into the computer, and it's like a 64K.
Yes.
Yes. Apple computer or something. Yeah. And he's typing in some information, and it's telling him the percentage chance that, one, they're already infected, two, the chances of them getting out without being infected, and three, how long I think it would take for the virus, or not the virus, the thing to assimilate the entire world. I think it was like 6 months or something.
Yeah, it was very bad.
But, to me, the concept of that computer simulation, as basic as it was, pretty cool and groundbreaking for that time. The concept was that you're in a no-win situation.
Yes.
Right? You are in a life or death situation. Not only for you and your other 8 friends, or 7 friends, whatever, but the entire human race. And this game really captures that. I felt... Now, we only played a 4-player game, to be fair.
Well, and so that's the place to start. This is a 4 to 8 player game with an optional 1 to 3 player variant.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd do the 1 to 3.
Well, I would like to try it just to see.
But I'm buying this and I'm playing this to play it 8 players.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's where, because this is it's a hidden traitor kind of try to save yourself and everyone and save humanity type game.
Yeah. Well, you're trying to stay away from the aliens so you don't get assimilated.
Yes.
Simultaneously trying to complete missions around the board, like keep the generator running and fix the helicopter and send out a distress signal and, oh, by the way, make food and eat it and all this other stuff. But you also need things like keys and guns and flashlights and, I mean, you got to do everything, right? But you're all fighting against one person, that's the alien. And every time you come in contact with that guy that you don't know who it is from the get-go, you have a chance of getting infected yourself.
Yeah.
And later on, I think usually after round 3 or 4, the dogs get loose.
Yeah, well, it happens after the first turn, they get loose.
Okay.
But,
I thought in our game it was like the 3rd or 4th turn.
That was my mistake.
Oh, okay.
But, I love this style of game.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Because it's a game of tension, just like the movie.
Yep.
It's a game of lying and bluffing, just like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game of sabotage and subterfuge It's a game of stress.
Yep.
It's a game of pointing and accusing each other.
Yep.
It's a game of forcing someone to do a blood test and finding out that they're the thing, and everyone goes, "We knew it. We hate you." Yeah. It's got all of that, that's what I want in a game. Mm-hmm. Famously, I don't want to play multiplayer solitaire dry games, which there are a number of games out there that are like that. It's not my style. If I've got 8 people around a table,
you want interaction.
I want to be yelling and screaming at each other and having a good time.
Yeah.
And this game is conducive to that.
Really, the game from the very get-go. You're
You're
not only watching each other, you're watching what happens with their cards and what they say and what they're doing, but you're accusing people from the get-go, right? There comes a point in the game, in the sequence of play, where that first round's kind of over and it's time to start pointing fingers. And
the mechanic is literally you count to 3 and you point fingers at each other.
Or you cross your arms because you're
not quite sure.
You don't want to out someone.
But you don't want to out yourself by pointing the first finger either.
Yeah, that's true.
Also might be suspicious.
I think I did point one of the first fingers, and people thought I was the thing, and I'm like, no, I wasn't the thing till like round 7.
Yeah.
And then I became the thing from a dog encounter. But it's just so cool because, like you said, you're bluffing, hiding, lying. There's also a lot of cooperation.
In theory.
Yeah, 4 to 8 players. You're trying to cooperate to get the hell out of here, and you've got to all kind of trust each other that you're doing what you say you're going to do. You've put what card you said you were going to put into the deck, and then you're going to draw that out as you're trying to make these things happen. And it's a bummer when you draw that sabotage card because.
Well, it's cool because there are a number of games in this style, right?
Yeah, Dead of Winter is one we enjoy.
Battlestar Galactica, and in those it's like everyone puts their cards in and you shuffle them up and you kind of reveal them all, and in BSG was there more pros than cons? Yes, you passed. That's how all of those crises are resolved. In this one, everyone puts one in, plus one random one, shuffle them up. And then the captain reveals as many as they wish one at a time. Yeah. So everyone has gone to different rooms. You've discussed, hey, I'm going to go to the generator room. If a repair comes up, I'll repair it. You've gone to the radio room. If a use comes up, I'm going to use that to send out an SOS signal. Someone's gone to the armory. They'd like to get a use card to look and get a weapon. Yep. You've all spread out. Then you put all the cards in. And then you do your stuff. So the captain has to reveal one, and so it's a repair card. They get to choose who uses it. Yeah. And so it's like, you were going to repair the generator. Here's the repair card. You go and do that. Yeah. And if you're the thing and you start doing things suboptimally, real good way to give away yourself.
Oh yeah.
But you can absolutely hose the entire team.
You can
at an
by keep drawing,
opportune moment.
Yep.
And so there's the press your luck. Did someone put a sabotage in there? Was one randomly put in? Oh, we had a repair. Oh, we had a use. Yep. There's 3 or 4 cards left. How long do we keep
Do we draw
going?
one more? Because we really need to fix these things. And do we draw another?
You draw one sabotage and you're like, okay, that's not good.
Well, but there's probably not any more sabotage. Or maybe there's not any more. Or we hope there's no more sabotage.
And that's the other part of this game versus something like BSG where there's like one Cylon. Or there might be 2 by the end of the game. Yeah. In
that game, do people get changed or
no?
Yeah, it's
you have the first set of cards. One person's a Cylon. Then halfway through the game, you deal another round, and someone might become a Cylon. Okay. Right.
But it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, or it's the other way around. But like, there's only ever like 2. In this one, if you're the thing, you can spread your thingness. Yeah. And so towards the end of the game, there might be 3 or 4 things. And there's 8 of you playing, and so there might be 4 or 5 sabotages in there. Yep. And if you're the thing and you're the captain, boy, you're just like, we're going to pull them all. Yeah, we're going to absolutely crush
because
everyone.
you want all these things to be breaking. You want the temperature to drop. Because if you freeze, just like in the movie, the thing wins. Yeah. Because the rescue team's going to come out, they're going to unthaw the bodies and do an autopsy, and guess what? The thing can then break out. Or you may want it to be completely dark.
Yeah.
And the completely dark room, and that's the generator room, I believe, the one over here.
Yeah, there's a generator in the boiler room, yeah.
That one was very cool, because one of the characters has a flashlight, always. I'm trying to think which one that was. It was the Bennings, I think. No, it was Norris. He always had a flashlight. So when it's dark, you have to randomly put a card in.
Yeah, you've got a hand of 2 or 3 cards.
You don't get to choose. You randomly choose.
If the lights are out, you just shuffle your cards up and
for the thing, that's like a dream for them. Dream scenario. For the rest of the humans, man, that's terrifying.
It's awful.
And we had that happen a couple times, and man, that is frustrating. But you also, like I said earlier, you got to fix the communications array so that you can send an SOS out to get a rescue chopper. And you gotta
keep the fuel going into the boiler.
You gotta find the keys if you want to get out on the chopper or the snowcat.
Yeah.
You can also go in the lab and do blood tests so that you can come out and say, okay, you're submitting to a blood test. No, I don't want to submit to a blood test. Why? Because you're the thing?
Well, and there's a suspicion track, and if you're the highest on the suspicion track, they're going to do it.
They have no choice. Yeah,
and it's there's a lot of neat little aspects like that.
Yeah,
and everything that you do, there's a level of uncertainty to it. Whether it's you're trying to, I desperately want to perform this action, but the cards don't come up, or the card mix doesn't come out in the right order.
Right.
If you pull 3 or 4 repairs and everyone's kind of used up, then you get your used. You're like, it doesn't help me.
Yeah.
The order they come out is very important. There's just a lot of really neat parts to this.
Well, the other thing that's really cool also is the way the thing assimilates people is by being with them.
Yeah, you have encounters.
You have to have an encounter. An encounter happens when 2 or more players, go into the same area.
Or a player and a dog.
Or a player and a dog. So that's kind of another...
Yeah.
But there are some of these actions, like for instance, the blood bank or the lab. If you go in there and I go in there and we draw a used card or a used card comes out, we get, 2 blood?
You get... the amount of additional players, you can do that many things.
Right. So it's beneficial to have a couple people in there, but it's also risky.
Yes.
Now, the other rooms all have the same thing. They encourage you to go in, the warehouse, I think it was.
The warehouse doesn't have one.
And you get to look at 2 cards and choose one.
But there's not a cooperation.
Oh, you're right. There's no co-op.
But most of them do. There's like 2.
Here's one.
The weather station doesn't. The warehouse doesn't. But almost everything else does.
So that's a very unique. The game sets up a situation where you're going to come into contact with someone sooner rather than later.
You're encouraged to do it.
Because it helps you. It gets you along that path to victory a little quicker. It also gives the thing the opportunity to get... to infect people.
So you're either an alien or you're a human. And these are secret, and you'll have one of these face down.
Yeah.
Based on kind of a card deal at the beginning. And then what you're going to do, if you're ever in contact with another human, you have these 3 tokens, and they're kept face down. 1 is alien, and 2 are human. And what you're going to do, if you're a human, and we have an encounter...
You're going to pick both the humans.
You have to put both your humans out. And then you would also put, 2 of your 3 ones out, depending on what you were. And then I'm going to choose 1 of yours to look at.
Yep.
Oh, look, it's a human. Nothing happens.
Well, that one shows human, but who knows what the other one is, right? So I'm going to choose yours. Oh, he's a human. But I don't get to look at the second one.
Yeah, but we both go up on the suspicion track.
Yep.
Because we're both like, ooh. But if you pull one and it shows an alien, that tells you... He's an alien, but now you're now an alien. He's spread it to you whilst you 2 were cornered.
And if you watch the movie, if you haven't watched the movie, you need to do it. But if you watch the movie, one of the things that I actually tried to watch it the last time I watched it a couple months ago, you cannot track who comes into contact with who at what time. And it's a very chaotic situation. You can't do that here either. You really can't you really can't track what is happening.
It's very difficult.
You can kind of infer or guess, but it's secret, right? The cards you put down are secret. These tokens are secret. You know, as the alien, you're hoping to spread that discord, so you want these encounters.
Yeah, so you're doing that.
Yeah.
But also, there's the dogs running around.
And they randomly go to rooms.
If you encounter a dog, you've got the little doggy bag.
Yeah.
And you reach into the doggy bag, and there's, I think, 9 counters in here.
And two of
them are aliens, and 2 of them are nothings.
Yeah.
So you're like, cool, I'm a nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But if 2 players go into a room with a dog, they don't do an encounter. They just pick up the dog and throw it in the kennel.
Yep.
But then the 2 players have to do this encounter again.
Yep.
So,
well, you also
there's an agent of chaos, the dogs.
Yeah.
So you really can never know.
Yeah, you can never know. The really cool thing about the game, though, too, is the armory. I think is what it's called. The armory. You know, there's guns, there's crowbars, there's if you have those things, you can avoid an encounter. So you can you know show your shotgun around and you can't have an encounter with me. We're in the same room, but like we don't get close enough. And I think that was something early on that we should have done more of.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we all 4 became the alien.
The game ended because we all got assimilated, at which point the person who was assimilated last loses.
Yeah.
And everyone else was...
We're really all lost, but that's the concept. You need to do encounters and be in the same room, but you want to avoid the contact. You need to put the dogs back because they just cause chaos, and you've got a lot of stuff to do. This game, I think that the strength of this game is just the unknown.
Yeah.
Right? From the cards you have to what you're putting down. Now, as you rise up on this suspicion track, though, I think once you get to the top level, so for 4 players it was here.
Yeah, like 7 spaces.
Which, you have to now play your cards into this pile. You have to show them face up.
Yes.
So it becomes infinitely more difficult for the alien to really affect negatively the sabotage concept. You can still do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you can just lie. Or you can, like, hopefully the power goes out and then we're doing it all randomly
then you're doing,
anyway. And you're like, oh, it's random.
But I guess what because you do a little bit of table talking. I know you're not supposed to do a ton of it, but you can kind of hear what others are thinking about doing, and you need that type of card. So to go into the lab, you need a use card. Well, I have a use card. I also have a repair card. I know you really need that use card to get those blood bags to do my... So I'm going to throw in, not a sabotage, because remember I'm playing it face up. I'm going to lie and I'm going to say, I've only got a repair card. When right here in my hand, you can see I actually have a sabotage card and a use card.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put that repair card in because I'm hoping you don't get a use card. And that's what I think is so cool about this game. The whole concept is unique. But that mechanic is very cool. And we played other games like that. Dead of Winter, Battlestar Galactica.
They all have a variation of that kind of thing. Yeah, I think one of the other aspects of this that I really enjoyed was not only... Because, everything was crashing down extremely quickly.
Yeah.
Right? As the aliens, you're trying to, win. You know, if ever you're the thing and you're, up on the suspicion track, you can always just out yourself.
And then
say, I'm the alien.
Yeah.
And then you become the alien miniature, and so now...
You can run around and beat people up.
Yeah, people can then, go and torch you. You get into fights and stuff, and it's almost a little bit of a combat mechanic in there as well.
And that's what happened in the movie, right? They found the creature several times. They burned it. Sometimes the head would break off and crawl away and they wouldn't notice it, or someone would get nicked and it's just, that's what you can do here. You can do that. You can run around, out yourself, and you're going to be banging people up and trying to, subdue them that way.
But yeah, the infection spreads fairly quickly, comparatively, in this game versus other games. And as such, if you're going to win this game, it's probably going to be just you that gets out. There's this whole sequence of how you get on to the helicopter.
Yeah.
I have to get on. Great, because I'm the captain, I get on. And then what I'm going to do is that the person lowest on the suspicion track, everyone's going to, vote.
Yeah.
Everyone who's on the chopper says yes or no, you get to get on the chopper.
Yeah.
Well, it's just me, because I'm the first one on. You're the lowest on the suspicion track, yes or no.
You get on. Yeah.
I might say yes. Now, the next person who's on the suspicion track we have to agree whether they get on.
Yeah.
If one person says no, they do not get on.
Yeah.
And so you keep going, and so like the people up on the suspicion track, you're like, we don't give no.
Yeah, I'm voting you out. But you lose the game
Yes.
if you leave a human behind.
If you leave any humans
Yeah.
behind, you lose. And if there's any aliens on the chopper,
You lose.
So it's
Yeah.
very, very, very difficult, I think, as the humans to win. Like, if you're the very last one, which I think might be what's happening here, you know, you can escape on your own because you know it's you.
Yeah.
At most, that's like one other trustworthy person, maybe.
Well, in our game, we weren't even close to having
No.
the chopper ready to go. We screwed up so many times.
I think if there was 8 people,
yeah.
maybe you could make a bit more headway early
Yeah.
before everyone just like becomes an alien. But it was very neat. But that little aspect of the
Oh,
end
yeah.
where you get into fairly personal, like,
Yep.
no.
That's
so great.
So
That's
becoming
great.
that leader is very vital.
Extremely important.
Not only during the game, because you're the one deciding how many cards you flip, and you don't want to leave that up to chance that the alien's just going to keep flipping them. And it was funny. I remember one time when I finally got assimilated, I got assimilated second, so I was the third out of 4 of us that was in the alien. I was the leader, and I'm like, or I wasn't the leader, but I was trying to convince the leader, let's just do one more card. One more card. You know, and they were struggling, and I think ultimately they decided not to do it, and I was like, okay, good call. You know, good call.
Yeah,
But I really wanted him to flip it over, because I thought one more sabotage really would have made it nice.
and I think with a smaller game with the 4 players, it was easier to kind of sit and calculate the odds of the 4 cards and
Yeah.
who's put in what. Of like, okay, we can maybe
With 8, it's...
with 8, it's a little bit more random, a little bit more chaotic,
Yeah.
where you're like,
Yeah,
you
if-
might be disinclined to do fewer cards.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a
and then
tough one.
you're gonna make less progress though.
But yeah,
right?
also you just go all out, and then you're like,
Yeah.
we'll sabotage a couple things, but we're going to do a lot more elsewhere. Maybe.
A lot of games have a turn track or a record track or sands in an hourglass that are counting down. This game really there isn't that.
No, it's as long as you need it to be.
You keep going, but the counter really is the probability of whether or not everybody is infected. So the longer you do this, the more encounters that are had, the more dogs you run into. Ultimately, things are going to break down, and you will not be able to get off. So it's incumbent upon players to get on it, get the stuff you need, get that chopper going, and figure it out before you get assimilated. But once again, you leave one human behind, you lose. So you got to be careful.
A very punishing game, but a very thematic game in that way.
I'm not sure it's about winning, because I think in the movie, nobody won.
No.
McCready and Childs at the very end had killed the alien. They blew him up. And they're sitting there as they're going to freeze because everything's destroyed. And you don't know which of them, if either of them are human or the alien. And that's just what this game is. So it really is well done. There actually is another game. We actually, after we played this, we're like, oh,
we enjoyed this so much, had a fun time. We went out and purchased this, which is The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31.
Wasn't this from 2017?
17 or 18.
And it was USA-opoly, right?
USA-opoly, yeah.
2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
We waited in line.
This is a reprint, so it's a different date on it.
We waited in line at Gen Con to try to get in and demo this, and we never
we
could.
were in a line of about 150 people.
Yeah.
It's an 8-player max game, and they were like, this is the only demo that had any spots for the day.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
They should have had 50 copies of this, demoing
They
it
should
constantly
have.
all day.
If we could have demoed it, I think we would have bought it.
But it's
and enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
But
was
it's
a similar
different
concept.
Yeah, similar concept, little different execution.
Yeah.
Little. It's different, right?
I've read the rulebook of that. The rulebook's much better. This is a not good rulebook.
Yeah, the rulebook really was.
That was I had to struggle with it. It's not well laid out, and there was some real problems with it.
But I think now that we've played it, we've got it down.
Yeah, and
I'm not sure the rules are overly complex.
But I've played enough of these games where I know what it's trying to do, at least.
Right, what it's trying to say.
Like, referencing anything in this, have fun. Good luck.
Yeah, yeah.
The key rules are like just kind of like off somewhere else in a box, kind of at the bottom of the page.
Well, and I think ultimately the thing that we struggled the most with was at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an anticlimax in the way that it was like, I think we're all infected.
Yeah.
Because I did a blood test on you.
Yep.
And you were I knew that I was infected, and I knew that Russ was infected, and I was pretty sure he was.
Well, because of the way he was acting, we were pretty sure Jacob was infected.
But Russ knew that he was as well.
Yep.
And he knew that I was. And so I did the blood test on you, so he knew.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you don't want to be the first guy to say, we
and
all
screw it
are,
up.
because just in case someone isn't and you've miscalculated.
So we were talking about that. There's got to be a better way to finish it or end it.
And I'm sure there is. I just felt the rulebook had a little lack of clarity on some of those things, because it's just kind of like, if you're the alien, try to do your best to remember so you can reconstruct the events of the past.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good game mechanic.
No, it's not.
But the process of doing it all was extremely fun.
Yeah.
So
I had a great time with this. I can't wait to go to a big convention like a Gen Con. We're going to go to WBC in July.
We'll take at least one of these.
We're going to take this and that, probably get an 7-8 player game and
play this with us,
yeah.
please.
Well, and the other thing, we enjoyed it so much, right? Yes. And this was kind of the base game.
The retail edition.
The retail edition. I didn't back this on Kickstarter. I bought it or pre-ordered it. And it came with cardboard.
Little cardboard standees.
Which is okay. They look okay. But
fine.
We knew that they were miniatures. So we went out there and we spent $45 on getting these miniatures.
Come on. That's not even
that's just way better. That's the big alien.
They serve no purpose other than
cool. And we also bought the characters, right?
Which, these are actually really nice.
Yeah.
They're like at least 32 millimeters. I think
they're really well done.
I think they're even bigger. They're like 36 or 30.
That's McCready right there.
Those are this is like you would sit and paint these and you'd have a really nice set.
Are you going to paint these?
Maybe. I'll definitely do the aliens probably.
Yeah. Anyway, we bought these because we enjoyed it so much, had a good time. We're stupid. But yeah, we look forward to playing this again and trying out the thing. There's another one out there. It's called like Who Goes There? And it also looks interesting. I read up on it over the weekend after we played.
We're going to do a Guns of the Thing event where we play them all.
These kind of games, though, they're just fun. They're a riot. After we played, I think it took us 2 hours to play it. Everybody was just thinking about it. I think I thought about it all weekend.
Oh, yeah. I bought this the next day.
Yeah, we got it.
We
got it
Wednesday. We were texting in our group chat, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, we have to.
Yeah, we have to get it.
Yes, and this one's more like the Resistance, where you have like groups and you're going out on missions and things like that.
That one looks pretty. It looks really interesting.
Yeah, a little bit more opportunity for betrayal and lying to each other and stuff. A little bit more jeopardy, I think. But it's this style of game, man, I love it so much.
I do too.
When we're not playing war games,
I want to play stuff
I'm
like
playing this, or I'm playing like Sci-Fi 4X or like Dudes on a Map style games. But this is, I just really enjoy, because when you're with people, I want to yell and scream at each other. I want to I want to joke and jive people.
Yeah,
that's what I enjoy.
And that's what this game excels at.
In a great setting.
Yeah, in a great setting.
It's all the quotes. You're pouring your coffee on the chess machine. You're doing it all.
One of the things, I don't know what that thing is, but it's pissed off. That's one that I just remember. I think I may be saying it wrong, but it's when the dogs kind of manifest the thing. And if you remember, if you haven't seen the movie, the dogs really initiate the thing. Yes. I'm not going to spoil it. But the dog initiates it. So,
and one of the cool parts about the other one, on all the mission cards, it's got a little quote from the movie on it.
Oh, nice! So this didn't have that. Yeah, this didn't have that. But very well done. I enjoyed it. I think I spent this was $40.
Yeah,
and then these were each what 22,
21.
So we spent. We spent $100. I wish I would have done the Kickstarter.
Those are total chrome. You do not need those.
No, you don't. But it will make the experience better.
But for $40,
yeah, it's not. It's a very good investment.
You're having a good time.
You play it once, twice a year. You're gonna yuck it up and have a good time.
Yeah, you get everyone together, yell and scream. Everyone's annoyed at each other.
Yeah,
and then you go home angry.
Yep, exactly.
So The Thing, the board game from Ares.
Terrible name, by the way. The Thing, the board game.
Yeah, surely.
At least that one is. The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31. Anyway, The Thing, the board game.
Yeah, we had a blast with it.
Not real happy with
also,
that.
Also, thanks to Russ and Jake for coming up here and playing with us.
Yeah, it was a blast. From Cardboard Conflicts.
Yes, we'll do more of that.
Yeah.
So appreciate you tuning in. I've been Alexander for PlaySafe.com.
And I'm Grant.